With the push to reopen, an important reminder that every city, every community, of course, faces new and different challenges. And there may be something to learn from San Francisco. It was one of the first places to shut down, and that decision is being credited with saving lives. Joining us now, Mayor London Breed. Thanks so much for your time, Mayor.
Thank you.
Now, your city of nearly 900,000 has seen only 35 COVID-19 deaths, and for about a month, you've had roughly between 70 and 90 people hospitalized. Obviously, no city is out of the woods just yet, but what do you think has gone right so far, and what advice do you have as other communities grapple with the difficult decision of when and how to reopen?
Well, I think what's gone right is that we have a Department of Public Health who, from the very beginning, was paying very close attention to this issue and expressed concerns and the need to act quickly to avoid a surge in the number of cases here in our city. And so we acted quickly. We made sure that we communicated with the public every step of the way. And I think the cooperation of the people of San Francisco has really played a critical role in being able to flatten the curve. But also, we continue to try and remind people that we are not out of the woods yet.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti made headlines, of course, yesterday saying that some version of a shelter-in-place order may stay in effect there for 3 months. Could that be necessary, do you think, in San Francisco? And in your mind, does any city have a path toward normal without widespread testing or a vaccine?
I think that what we have done, and it's really hard to say other than we put together the 6 indicators to help people to understand exactly the data, the science, the facts, and what we're using to determine the steps that we are taking to open. So, for example, on May 18th, we're going to be opening all retail establishments for drop-off and, for pickup and delivery. And those establishments have to be curbside businesses. There's still social distancing. There's still limitations, and no malls are included in this opening. But I think as we look at the data in terms of the number of cases, hospitalizations, PPE supplies, contact tracing, testing capacity, those things are going to help determine what we can do, because we know that this virus is spread through direct contact. And if we continue to follow the social distancing order and allow a few things at a time and to analyze the data during that time that we allow things to open, it'll give us a better indicator for what other things will be allowed to open as well.
I want to also talk about the idea that before this pandemic, San Francisco had some of the highest levels of income inequality in America, and it's one of the most expensive places to live. So did so many tech workers working remotely help curb the spread? And also, are you worried about your most vulnerable hourly workers and the homeless there? Do they have the resources that they need?
Well, what I appreciate about what we did from the very beginning, when we operated our emergency response, we embedded an equity team into our response so that we were getting to those communities that may not have access to the internet or to television or to social media, in communities in the outskirts of the city, and low-income communities and immigrant communities and our homeless population. So the outreach, the handing out of masks, the providing of resources, including food, our equity team has been doing an incredible job. So I think that also has played a role in really seeing more people cooperate with the order. But what we are also finding is there are, of course, still disparities, and specifically in particular populations in our Latino community. We see a huge disparity between the actual population and the number of people who are infected. But we also see the disparities as it relates to people who are essential workers and people who have to go to work in order to make ends meet.
And San Francisco has the most billionaires per capita in the world. By all accounts, about 75 live in your city. Until yesterday, the city's charitable fund had raised close to $11 million. And looking at the donor list, around 70 of those billionaires have not contributed to that fund. You just announced yesterday on Twitter that CEO Jack Dorsey is contributing $15 million. But do you feel that others should be doing more to help the city that they live in?
I definitely think that if you can afford it, number one, you should be taking care of your workforce. And number two, you should be doing everything you can to support the kinds of causes that are going to lead to actual results for people. So we've done a lot of outreach in order to get private dollars into this fund to directly help San Franciscans. But we also know it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of outreach. And I think that there is a shift in who actually are the wealthy in San Francisco. We had families who have historically been wealthy who who their responsibility naturally they believe is to give. So even without asking, you have people like the Gettys and the Hellman Foundation and Salesforce. They just naturally contribute to great causes in our city, but others are not so forthcoming. And we have to make sure that they understand their social responsibility of being not only a San Franciscan, but someone who should be contributing to society in this way, because a lot of the money that's being made is really off the backs of a lot of the folks that we need to help right now.
Right. We're talking so much about social distancing, but social responsibility also key. Yeah. Mayor London Breed, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.